way for all my seminars. I just go through a quick description of a couple of concepts related to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I apologize to those of you who have already heard me ramble on about this. But I try to break everything down into two separate concepts. One is base posture structure, and the second one is frames and levers. Everything we cover in the seminar today is going to relate to those concepts, so I'm just going to quickly explain them. And we're going to go over the technical stand-up, which I'm sure all of you know, but I'm just going to put it in the context of base posture structure and how I want it to look, because we're going to be dealing with a lot of sweeping movements and getting on top, and if you have correct technical stand-up, it's going to help a lot with that. So first, quickly, just to define base. Base is a platform from which to apply and absorb force. If you don't have the ability, like a lot of people tend to think they're in base when they're not actually in base. It's really common. Even you'll see like what's referred to as combat base a lot of times is not really good base, because I don't have the ability to absorb force right now. If you push me, I'm going to go back. Whereas if my toes are out here like this, now I'm in base, because now I can absorb force and I can generate force into my opponent. So a lot of times people have a little bit of a misconception of what base is, so that's base. Posture is correct spinal alignment, right? If you twist your spine up, you're going to weaken your body, your muscles become disconnected. So that's correct posture. And structure is correct limb alignment. So maximizing how your limbs can, for example, absorb someone's weight. So if I'm trying to hold someone off of me like this and I'm using muscular force, that's poor structure. Whereas if I just align my bones to hold you off me, or if I wanted to hold a push-up position, this would be correct structure. This would be bad structure, because I'd be using muscular force. So using your limbs to, as economically or efficiently as possible, absorb and generate force as well is going to be good structure. So like good knee-elbow connection in the guard, as opposed to this kind of thing, is good structure. And then the other thing is frames and levers. So your limbs, if you think of your body, as basically a box with 4 sticks poking out of it. Your limbs can either perform as a lever or as a frame. Right? So a frame would be so if I'm trying to keep Walter off me, I'm using a frame right now. As soon as he starts to push my elbow to the side, he's using a lever. It's basically, and generally speaking, defensively we're using frames. Offensively we're using levers, although that's going to change sometimes. But those are the primary functions that your limbs can perform. And everything we're going to be doing here is particularly in the 50-50, because it's pretty much the only 100% equal position in Jiu-Jitsu, is going to rely on the idea of recognizing what a frame is and what a lever is, and how to turn a lever into a frame. Everybody got that? Cool. So let me just go over the technical stand-up within the context of base posture structure. So if I'm going to go to my right side, I'm going to drop to my right. I'm going to establish a solid frame here with my right arm. My right knee is going to be on the mat. I want to make sure that I have good posture, so my spine is aligned. I want to make sure that my foot is close to my butt. I lift my hip, slide my leg back, get in a position I can stand up, whatever. Errors to watch for in the technical stand-up that will compromise how effective you can be. One is doing the technical stand-up this way, bending your spine forward, leaving your head open. Two is performing the technical stand-up this way, leaving your leg out so it's a lever that someone can use to control your hip to put you back down. So if I could just have everybody quickly just do a few reps of the technical stand-up to each side, paying attention to good posture, correct framework and structure, lifting your hips, sliding into correct base with your toes on the mat, and then you can sit down and go the other way, same thing. Arm back, knee down, foot close to your butt, elevate the hip. Make sure that your lead leg is heavy. This is probably the most common error that, like, I still do it quite a bit because I've got a lot of reps in of doing a technical stand-up this way. So the most common error that higher level guys do is to do the technical stand-up and just get dropped back down. So you just want to make sure that when you're performing it, your weight is heavy on your front leg and your spine is straight, your head isn't bent forward. Everybody got that? Cool, so let's just get a few reps. This will be our warm-up. Just do a few reps in technical stand-up and then we'll get right into everything.